Hello, welcome to another class where we want to look more into Gog. Now I'm using the BibleGateway.com. Uh, so if you want to follow along and you want to get this online Bible where you can use it for, so just type BibleGateway.com. Once you have that, you have a quick search. So here, if you click this side, you can choose whatever Bible you want to look at, cross check, do cross reference. So for this, let's go to the King James Version. So let's find out where it is. We have got new, so we don't new. Why is new is just paraphrasing the English. So this is the one we choose here. So here list we want to know about Gog. So just type Gog. So we want to go into Ezekiel 38. So here we have got 9 Bible results for this. So let me enlarge it a little bit so you can be able to see more clearly. Now here we have got 9 results. In Old Testament for this name Gog, we have got 8 hits, which is in First Chronicle, and Ezekiel you have 7. So 1 Chronicle you have got 1 of these results for Gog. Then we have got Ezekiel, we have got 7 hits in there. In New Testament, which is Revelation, we have got 1. So Gog is mentioned in Old Testament 8 times, then 1 in Revelation, making it 9. So the First Chronicles is in chapter 5, verse 4. It says the sons of Joel, Shema, his son Gog. So we can get in context full chapter for it and other translations. Then we go in Ezekiel 38, where is more mentioned because we have got 7 hits there, which is 7 verses. So we have got 30, 38, 2, 3, 14, 16, 18, 39, chapter 39, 1, 11. Then we have got the Revelation there. Right. So let's hit first Revelation 20 verse 8, which says, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in 4 quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to the battle, the number of whom is the sand of the sea. So here Revelation is just mentioning Gog, which we just searched, and Magog, to gather them together. But if we look at the genealogy of Noah, from Japhet, we don't have Gog, we have got Gomer. but we have got Magog. So here it shows that Gog is also a nation, but it's not mentioned. Because we have got Gomer mentioned, or Gog is Gomer. So let's go to the first verse which we get in First Chronicles 5:4. It says, "The son of Joel, Shema, his son Gog." So Joel has got a son Gog. This could be the Gog we are looking at, or this is just another Gog. So we can't pin Joel, who is the father of Gog, to be the one mentioned, because the father of Gog we are looking at should be Japhet. So this is just another son mentioned by that name. So we have dealt with that one. Now let's go into Ezekiel 38, chapter 38, verse 2. Here it says, "The son of man, set thy face against Gog." So if we look at the genealogy or descendant of Japhet again, we see that Gog is not mentioned, but Magog is mentioned. And also Noah prophesied that uh, Japhet will enlarge his nation into Shem. But the Gog we are looking at here is not at the time of Japhet and Gomer and Magog at that time. This is in future, because if why I am I saying is in future, this will be in future past 70 AD. So this will pass before the second temple was burned. The last temple was burned by the Romans. So here, to confirm that we are setting Gog in the correct time, let's look at the supporting verse. So if we look at Ezekiel 38:14, it gives us the time frame when this is happening, where Gog is mentioned rather than Gomer, because we feel Gomer is the first child of Japhet, who could be the chief prince in the land of Magog. But Gog looks to be, he is also a chief prince, but later he could be this descendant from Gomer, or the son of Gomer, after maybe several years, because we are talking 70 AD, away from when Japhet had his sons. So the verse reads again, "Therefore, son of man," which is Ezekiel, son of man, "prophesy and say unto Gog." So this is several thousand years. Thus said Yahweh. So I'm not going to pronounce Lord, because that's a totally different thing. But we would say this is Jehovah God in that day. In what day? In that day, the one in future. When my people Israel, this is the big clue. Israel was pronounced Israel after Jacob. So we are thinking of when Israel settled in Canaan. That's after Moses to Joshua. So you can see now that the Gog we are talking about is when we have Israel. Israel was not there when they divided from Noah's time. All we knew was Shem. So here Israel would dwell in safety. So we need to go and search more. What does it mean Israel dwell in safety? To follow up as a signal for Gog to come and attack Israel. Because here it says, dwell safety. Shall thou not know it? Who should know it? Gog should be able to know it, or we should be able to know that when Israel dwells in safety, Gog will come. Now, this is more revealed in Ezekiel 38, chapter 38, verse 16. And thou shalt come up against my people of Israel. Who is coming up against Israel, my people, is Gog. As a cloud cover the land, so Israel is a country, and Gog will bring his forces to cover the country. So there will be lots of people to cover this war, because Gog is, if you remember, Gog is the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. And the verses have said that Gog is going to um, talk to all the princes and other people to come to do this war, which is being talked in Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 16. That's why when you see them, they'll be like a cloud covering the land. It shall be in later days or latter days. This means in the future, before Yeshua or Jesus Christ comes back to earth, and it will bring thee against my land. Excuse me, say, and I will bring Gog and his armies against Israel, because that's God's land, that the heathen may know when may know me. Now, here is where we see that the word heathen is being used, because the heathen, they are the unbeliever, and people who don't believe. They are heathen. They are not Gentiles, because Gentiles are grafted to the root of Jesse. So on the Pentecost, that's when the Gentiles were connected to the Jews as one body. So the three brothers, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, they are all one as together. So there is no more Gentile anymore, because the Holy Spirit connected through the Pentecost. But the people not believing, this could be from Japheth, Shem, and Ham, they will be now called heathen. So this defeat of Gog is to those people who they are not believing, the heathen may know me. So once they have been defeated, they will know, and then Yeshua will be sanctified, shall be sanctified in thee, O Gog, before their eyes. So they will see it. Now, if we go in Ezekiel 38:18, it says, And it shall come to pass at the same time. So here, let me take a pen just to clarify more what we are looking at here. So we know that Gog, this is after, so it's after AD 70. That's what we are looking at. So after AD 70 going towards, like now today we are in 2022, we should say. This hasn't happened. We haven't experienced, we have the heathen. So the heathen, let's put a divided line here. So that's the heathen there. These could be, we just go people. So this is Yeshua's people. These are the heathen. So Gog will be the chief. So that's Gog. So Gog is part of the heathen, Yeshua and his people. Now, his people here mainly is Israel. So the Israel and also Gentiles. So the Israel and the Gentiles, let's just do like that, together form, so this will be the people of Yeshua. So the chief prince of Gog the heathen, this will be Japheth's sons. Then you have Ham's sons, including also Shem. Because these are unsaved, but some of them will be also saved and will be people of Yeshua. So when we look at uh, Gog and Yeshua, people are still being saved even now, because we are still in the future. This hasn't happened. But in AD 70, that's when the books or liberation is talking about. So let's clear the screen. Hopefully I did some clarification too, so that you could understand what is happening here. So Gog, we know, shall come, because it hasn't happened, in the land of Israel. So now we have got the land of Israel. So let's put so that's, we have got the land of Israel, but we don't have the actual Gog, but we know this is in Turkey, because That's where Goma is, and that's where the land of Magog is. So when Gog come to Israel, Jehovah fury shall come up in my face. So his anger will be ignited. So in here, therefore, son of man, which is Ezekiel, prophesy against Gog, and say, thus say the Jehovah, behold, I'm against you, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. Then in Ezekiel 39:11 says, and it shall come to pass in that day. Now this day is called the day of Jehovah. It is his turn now because he will be having fury will come up to his face. So this is the time Jehovah will revenge, will go to war against the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, that I will give unto Gog a place there of graves in Israel, and the valley of the passengers on the east of the sea, and I will stop the noise of the passengers, and they shall there bury Gog and all his multitude. So this verse we need to look into because different Bibles have got different translation for this, and most of the time it's not the correct translation. So like the passengers here shall stop the noises of the passengers, the valley of passengers, place there of graves in Israel. So we need in the next video we are going to look at Ezekiel 39:11 and look at the other Bibles to see because this is a, let's put a good color here. This I call it bad translation. So we need to look into that and read. So with this, I thank you for viewing.